Hello, my name is Jonathan, and welcome to our second video on gift wrapping. You'll remember a few years back I created an initial video. There's been a lot of response to that, and so felt it necessary to respond to the people and provide another wrapping video. In this video, we're going to be talking about progression wrapping, also known as nested wrapping. So you can see the boxes that I have here. We're going to be wrapping them, and they're going to be nested or progressed in each box, ending up in this one. We'll be wrapping each of them individually. This is a more advanced wrapping technique and often used around holidays, birthdays, special occasions, and so felt it necessary to provide an instructional video. So these are the boxes we're going to be using today. We're going to go ahead and clear these off the table for now and show you some of the tools that we'll be using. It's important when wrapping gifts to always have all the materials that you need on hand. It's very frustrating when you don't have what you need. You may have to go to another room, even to the store, to purchase what you need. We have today exactly what we need. Of course, the essentials, you begin with wrapping paper. We need two complementary styles. This is going to be a birthday gift today, so you'll see the happy birthday paper. Also the striped complementary papers, and the fact that they're both for wrapping. Other things that are essential and necessary, of course, a good pair of scissors. I prefer these. It has a good hand feel and open and close easily. Also the tried and true Scotch tape. We're going with the transparent Scotch tape today. That's become a lot more popular in recent years, with people not wanting to see the tape lines, and so we are going to go with the transparent tape today. Also a stapler. There are times when you're going to need to affix things well, and a stapler is a good tool for that. We also have a black electric tape, more of a specialty item in terms of wrapping, but will definitely come into play today. And then finally, the glue stick. Glue sticks are important for attaching those little pieces of paper that would tend to get away. Glue sticks are really good for that. So these are our tools today. We'll just set these off to the side, and then we're going to begin with our first box. Again, we're starting with the smallest box. So we have a small box here, and we'll just begin with the striped paper. Now, part of what we're going to do today is really more about efficiency and speed, and so just getting the paper there. This paper tends to have the lines on it, and so that can make it easier to cut on. I'll show you here in a second. And if you don't get it exactly, I mean, you can just kind of rip it, and so you can see it's the lined paper. It curls up a little bit, which wrapping paper tends to do. You don't need to be worried about that. We'll just go ahead and take our box, usually put it right in the middle. So for this kind of wrapping option, you can see we'll put it together. We're probably just going to go with the standard transparent tape today. It's really important not to waste anything. So you'll notice you've got the colored end on that. That's perfectly good to use. It's festive, and it adds some extra color. So we'll just leave that on there as we affix the tape right on the packaging there, and then you simply just fold the ends in. So there are a few techniques. This is the triangle technique, and you fold it up. We can use, again, we'll just stick with the transparent tape for now. That can be folded up. Another piece of transparent tape, just put it on there. And the thing about the packaging is you really never know which end is going to be up until you fold it. It's really just how the triangles fall. And so these triangles have tended to fall this direction. And so that's the way it goes. The triangles lead the way, is what we like to say. The triangles lead the way. And so we add that piece of tape there. Now you notice we have that flyer. We talked about those flyers earlier where those pieces of paper just want to fly away. That's a great place for your glue stick. So I'm going to go ahead and take out my glue stick here. This is a Jot brand glue stick, a quality glue. And so I would just apply a little bit of glue right on the paper. If you've never used a glue stick, you can just apply it liberally right on the paper until you get a nice film. And then from there, you fold it over. You fold it over. You may have to hold it for a moment. It is glue. It's not opted not to go with the super glue. It's a little less forgiving than a glue stick. So holding it in place for just a few seconds, and you've got it. If this little tail here bothers you, you've got a couple of options. You can again glue, fold it over like that, and it holds perfect. So this would be the combo with the transparent tape and the glue stick on this one. So that's what we've done. You can see the triangles lead the way, like we talked about. We've got the festive end for our transparent tape. You really can't see it again, it's transparent. And we're done with box number 1. So, as we talked about, this is a nesting wrapped project. So we're going to take that box number 1. We're going to nest it, which means to place it inside of box number 2. This is a trifold box that we're using here today. Really good for nesting, provides good support. So we're gonna nest that right inside, fold that over, and then the sides just slide in, and then you have the end pieces which fit like so. Now you may remember from the first wrapping we used the striped paper. For this one we're going to alternate. It's more fun for the person unwrapping. If you alternate, they never know what's going to come next. Is it going to be striped? Is it going to be happy birthday? Might it be something completely different? They never know, and that's the fun. So we're going to go with the happy birthday paper. Again, you're very familiar with the technique. Always going with the patterned paper, as you can see here. The patterned paper. Just going to put that on there, and then cut some. Sometimes I'll use the sliding technique of cutting. You don't even really have to go up to move it in and out. You can simply slide, and sometimes that'll get a cleaner cut. Now you'll see this cut is clean, but there's some jaggedness to it, and that's fine because no one's gonna see that when it's folded over. And then once you have it down to a point, you can just cut straight across. So I've removed the box from the paper, and we're just gonna cut straight across. And this time I am using more of the slicing technique instead of the single move technique. Again, you just pull off what you don't need. And you've got a nice square piece of paper here. Next, we'll just place this on here. We'll wrap this quickly. We don't need to belabor the point. We'll go over. Just for technique difference, we'll go ahead and use the glue stick for this middle. Actually better than the transparent because let's be honest, transparent tape isn't transparent. It's a sales ploy. But with the glue, you really can't see it. If you were to see this up close, you would wonder how the paper is being held together. You and I know it's the glue. So there's paper at the end. Again, we're not going to waste. There's no need to cut. We're not going to go with the triangle. We're just going to go with the fold down and flip over. So it's called the fold and flip, for short, the fold and flip. So you just fold and flip like that. Again, we'll go with transparent tape, the traditional. And then on the other side, again, fold and flip, fold and flip. And we'll go with the transparent tape. Again, the flyer. This is common with wrapping. You see it a lot. And so you'll remember from the video how we deal with flyers. We use the glue. So we're going to go ahead and affix that with the transparent tape, transparent Scotch tape, and then we'll go ahead and use the glue stick on the other part. And sometimes you can apply it straight to the part being folded over. Sometimes you apply a little bit on the top as well. It creates a double seal, which is nice for those hard to affix parts. A double seal can be helpful, and so that's what we've done here. You'll notice there are some corners here. Those can simply be folded. Sometimes you can just put it on the table, move it back and forth, and that will help crush those corners down. So you can crush the corners on all sides, however that works for you. And then again, we're ready to nest. So you'll recall there's a box inside of this. We've got this box that we're now going to nest into our third box. We'll go ahead and put this here. Now, you'll notice that sometimes there's some extra space. Some people may like to put a type of padding or something here. We can certainly do that. A traditional way to do that is the tissue paper. So I've got some tissue paper here. Just going to go ahead and open this up. Remove the outer. But the thing about the outer is it's tissue paper as well. If you look at it, it's the exact same substance. And even though it says there are 35 sheets of the paper that you can see here, in actuality, there are 36. This comprises the 36th sheet. And the day and age when these are so expensive, we're trying to stretch that last dollar, using the 36th sheet makes all the sense in the world. So we're just going to go ahead, crumple that 36th sheet up, and we're going to tuck it in around the edges. Now the goal here with this type of paper is to provide security. You know, a lot of what we talk about today is security. We don't want that box to move. We don't want it to move at all. And so providing that allows for that security. I can shake this box and that's not going anywhere. Strong breeze, not going anywhere. So we're going to go ahead and shut that down. Close the top. And we're going to go ahead and go back to our striped paper. Now you'll notice the striped paper, we've cut a section out already, and that's where we can use the bottom part. We don't have to just keep going across the top. We can use the bottom section, and that's what we're going to do. So we're going to go ahead and use part of this bottom section here for our box. We'll just get things turned around, position it properly. A lot of times you'll want to fold the paper over the top. If you fold the paper over the top, you're going to see, hey, how much paper do I actually need? It takes the guesswork out of wrapping, makes things more accurate for you. And even though we don't want to waste any paper, we don't want any excess either. And so this allows us not to have the excess. I'm going to move this a little further down so that we don't have quite the lip at the end. This is called a narrow lip. So you'll notice here there isn't a lot of paper. That'd be a narrow lip. So we're going to do that. We'll go ahead and cut this paper here. Again, just using the slicing technique rather than the sliding. You'll note that I'm left-handed and I prefer the slicing technique depending on the scissors. And so I'm going to go ahead, just cut that across. Okay. So with the paper we have left, you'll notice that we have some curly strips and some varying lengths. That's going to be helpful later. So that is not wasted paper. That's going to be really helpful for later. We're just going to roll that up, leave that right there. And we've got our paper here. Now, we've taken a lot of time so far in this video, and we're going to move a little quicker, and that's why we're going to go ahead and just move to the stapler. So you fold your paper the way you want it, and then you just put the stapler on there and you just pop it. And boom, you've got a fixed paper. So we're just going to use the staple technique a lot. Again, fold, pop, fold, and pop. So a much quicker technique, provides a fluid wrapping sensation for you. And there's 3 metal staples. Now, you can paint these staples if you want. You can use a magic marker or Sharpie to go over those, or you can simply leave them as they are. Today we're just going to leave it as we are because, again, with the nested or the progressed box wrapping technique, staples are just fine. We're going to go ahead and place this into our next box. Now, you may say, Jonathan, this doesn't seem to fit. That's a perspective that some people have. This is called the approximation model. So the approximation model states that if a box will mostly fit into another box, it's just fine. So all you have to do with the approximation, again, it looks fine. The top will fold over, and once I affix this, again, we're going to use the stapler. Once I affix that, you're not going to tell that isn't one box. Now this side, yes. Now the staples can come out, and when that happens, you're going to have to go to another technique. That's where you're going to use the black electric tape. Now I do create just a small ball of tape so that I can find my end. And then you simply just put it there, and you're going to do a complete revolution around the box. So you're going to go around the entire box, just like so. You really only need one wrap, and then there are a couple of ways. I'll just use my scissors today to cut that. And there's your fixing, there's your closing for the approximation model. So again, we've used the staples, but we've also used the electric tape. It works both ways. We're going to go ahead and put this in, you guessed it, the happy birthday paper. Here we've got our happy birthday paper, and you can see that we have a good section here, a perfect section for this box. So we're just going to put it right in the middle of that square that exists, that square right there that exists, and we're just going to cut it for that square, because what that's going to do, it's going to do a couple of things. It's going to provide ample paper for the box, and it's going to square off our edges. And that's important, to square off the edges of our paper so that when we're ready to use it again, it is a fluid piece. What do I mean by fluid piece? A fluid piece means it's free of any jagged edges. It's more of a straight side. So if you look at the cut here, this is the fluid piece right here. You can see the fluid piece. So we're going to go ahead and wrap that up right here. We leave it to the side, and then simply finish the box here. Now, one thing that you'll notice, and this will happen from time to time, is even though we've cut it to be able to establish the fluid piece, there may not be enough to cover the top. You can turn the box a number of different ways. Because this box is more of a perfect square, you're going to find that turning the box in this case isn't that helpful. So you do what you can. We're going to go ahead and just tape the sides here to keep this in place. We're going to center it, and we're going to tape the sides. I'm going to go ahead and use the transparent tape. Some people call it invisible tape, but if it was invisible, how would you see it? We're going to use the transparent tape on both sides. I'm going to go ahead and grab that. Add the transparent tape over here. And so we've got this part done. If you looked at it from the back, it's perfect. Look at it from this side, there's still work to be done. So we're going to go ahead and fold it in like that. Going to go ahead and we'll just staple that. And then fold in this side the same way across the top. And we went with 2 techniques here. We used the square technique. we're also using the triangle technique. It's not going to matter for what's coming next. So we're going to go ahead and affix with the triangle technique. We'll use the transparent tape. Now you'll notice that there's still some space left. If this were an actual item, the recipient of the gift likely would be disappointed because they could see the box. That's where the extra pieces come in. Now, the extra pieces can come from either roll. And in this case today, we've got this extra piece from our striped paper. And so we're just going to cut that extra piece. I'm going to cut that extra piece. There we go. And then that is going to fit nicely over the top. Now, when you put it over the top, you'll notice you can't see a thing. You can't see a part of it. And because we're using this specific segment, there are no square folds, triangle folds on the sides. And so all you have to do is simply tape it down, glue it down. We're going to go ahead. For me, the transparent tape is just a go-to. It's what a lot of people use and what a lot of people like. And so we're going to go with that. We're going to go ahead and tape this on the other side with the transparent tape. Put that off of there. And then you can see, rolled up on me there. Sometimes you'll get a roller. That'll happen. But I've got that. And there we go. So the goal of wrapping is coverage. The goal of wrapping is coverage. And so you'll notice that we now have full coverage. We have the coverage on this side, and then the two insides are fine. You've got the layered look on the ends where you see the striped and the happy birthday coming together. This is why it's so important to get complementary paper. You want to get paper that goes together, and because these are both for parties, they work great. And then finally on the bottom, you have the happy birthday. So this box is ready to be nested. We're going to nest this right inside of the next box. Right inside of the next box here. Going to have to move. There we go. Now, you'll notice that it's getting a little thicker with the paper, with the extra boxes, the wrapping and the wrapping. And when I originally nested these boxes, I didn't do it wrapped. So sometimes it just takes a little extra to make it fit. So we'll take that and just simply pack it down the sides. Now the good thing about this is you're not going to need that extra tissue paper, because remember, the tissue paper only exists to hold things in place, and because this is now held in place, there's no concern. We'll go ahead, fold this down. Again, these types of boxes tend to be difficult, so this is another great time for the electric tape. Now, you'll remember in the last video that I used a packing tape with a tape gun. That can be used as well. My goal here today was just to show different techniques, and so we're going with the electric tape today. Would the packing tape on the gun be appropriate? Of course it would. And I'm just going to pull this off here. That allows me to kind of ball up the end so I can find where the tape starts again. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that. Now we can see that it's down. We're ready to go. And we used both colors of paper. We used both colors of paper that time. So do you go with a happy birthday? Do you go with the striped? The choice is up to you. Personally, I'm going to go striped because we used less of it last time. So let's see where we're at with our paper. Of course, we cut that little flyer piece off. We do have a bit of an extra square here. We're going to go ahead and use that, but also use a little bit more of the paper. So we don't really need to place the box anymore, and we've done that several times. And after you've done that a few times, you don't need to keep placing the box on the paper because you already know how to do that technique. You can simply just cut the paper. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to cut the paper. And cutting right along the dotted lines, really helpful to have on this kind of paper. If you have the paper There's usually a higher end paper that does not have the dotted lines. That's perfectly fine. A lot of times I'll get a marker and I'll add the dotted lines just because I like that guide. I like to be able to cut straight and to have clean cuts on my paper, and those dotted lines provide that opportunity to get the clean cuts like you see here. Now, we've got kind of a different shape. The shape that we have here is more of a flag shape. If you look at it this way, you can see it more of a flag shape of the paper. You've got the flag part up here, and then what we would call the flag pole down at the bottom. That's kind of a subtle nod to the holiday and the signs that can be posted around, like "Welcome to the North Pole." Of course, this is a birthday wrapping episode, so that doesn't apply. It doesn't really matter, but it's just a fun thing that you can think of when you're wrapping for other holidays. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Veterans Day, whatever it happens to be. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to place this. Now you'll notice, gosh, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of paper here. What are we going to do? Well, we'll work with what we have. That's one of our main themes. Work with what we have. We're going to go ahead and staple again. Pop it. Pop it. And then we've got this, the excess from the pole. We're going to go ahead and cut that. We're going to do, this is called a double cut. When you cut your paper more than once, it's called a double cut. If you cut your paper 3 times, it's still called a double cut. So we're doing a double cut, and we're going to fold that up and affix that. We're going to go with the transparent tape again, and go ahead and layer that onto the paper. Layer that onto the paper. Now, the paper is ripped a little bit. Transparent tape is going to take care of that. In addition to the tape being transparent, it covers up rips. You will not see them. So I've put the transparent tape on here. You don't see where the rip is because of the transparent tape. Now, again, we'll fold in the ends however you wish. Gonna fold part of this down and up. So that's the down up technique. You may remember that from the up, up, down, down. We're not using that today. This is the down up technique, and so we're going to go ahead, we're going to cross tape this. So what cross taping is rather than just taping one edge, you're going to tape across the different areas to affix it all. So we're going to cross tape against these areas here, and you can see one piece of tape covered it all. Again, we'll show the technique again. Fold in. There's lots of areas to cover. We're going to cross tape. Get my transparent tape. Take a piece. And simply... Now this will happen from time to time. The tape gets balled up. A lot of times it comes right apart. Sometimes similar to baking, if you put just a little bit of flour on your fingers, it will prevent a lot of that tape from balling up. So we're gonna cross tape. We're gonna cross tape this just like that. Gonna come up, cross tape. You've got it. Now you'll notice that the top of this, not really taped. Guess what? We've still got the pole. Now you can of course use separate pieces from the Happy Birthday paper. Because we still have the striped, we can use the striped. So we'll just go the striped right over the top like this. And to save time, we're gonna pop it. You know what that means. We're just gonna pop it. Say it with me. Pop! Gonna flip it. Oop, ripped a little bit. Absolutely not a problem, because it's not going to deter from us being able to pop it. Now, with that tear there, that is another great candidate for the transparent tape. So again, like we talked about earlier, the transparent tape takes care of those tears. You can't see them. We're going to do the cross tape technique to hold that in place. And just like that, it's cross taped. You can't see it with transparent tape. So here it is, our latest box. We've added the extra striped on top of the striped, so a different technique. And we're down to 2 more boxes, people. We're going to put this box, we're going to nest this, the Progressed, into here. We're going to put the Progressed into here. Now, again, you'll notice it's a tight fit. Sometimes you just have to be gentle yet firm. Gentle yet firm. And so we're just going to push that down in. Gentle yet firm. Again, the box holds so well, we don't need any of the tissue paper. Again, a perfect fit. Once again, we're going to top that in. Now, I've selected this box because of the tab. I like the tab. The tab fits right in, and that's going to hold the top. You'll notice on some of the other boxes, things have had the flyaway tops that we've had to use the electric tape on, and that's fine. With the tabbed boxes, that's not necessary. Now, these cost a little more, but some people find it to be worth it. So we've got this, and let's just quickly wrap this in the happy birthday paper. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on here. It's always a good idea to put that on there just to see how you want to do it. Over the top here, you can see that that's a good end. Over the top here, now we find it's called our paper center. So once you find the paper center, you can go ahead and confidently make your cut. The slicing again versus the sliding. Now with these, I can count 1, 2, 3, 4 1/4 squares, and we can go 4 1/4 squares past, but to me it looks like that's not going to be enough to fold up. So for this box to be on the safe side, and again, not to waste the paper, we're going to go to the end, and I'm going to show you how to do what would appear to be an excess paper wrap. This is not excess paper. A lot of people would say, Jonathan, way too much paper for the box. It's not too much paper for the box. You have to know what to do with it. So you can go ahead, you can do the top. Now, you'll notice that, I'll show this to you, there is a little bit of the writing here. Normally, we wouldn't like that. What you simply do is you turn the box over to the white side. You turn it over to the white side, then you pull it up. And when you are using a white box, and a white box only, leaving this center section exposed is not a problem. The center section exposed is okay. I want to make sure that I've kind of got this centered between both ends. If I look at it, it needs to slide a bit this direction. So now we're going to go ahead and affix this. We're going to use our transparent tape again. We're going to use the lash technique. A lash technique is called when you have two pieces of paper that don't connect. So you see the two pieces that don't connect? We use the tape to lash them together, So I'm going to go ahead and take my tape, and we're simply going to lash these just like this. This is a lash. We're going to add 2 more lashes actually. We're going to add a lash here. Almost had a cross tape there. Yeah, we're going to go with a lash, and then finally a last lash technique here. The last lash. That's hard to say. Kind of a tongue twister. Last lash. We'll fix that there. So we have that last lash technique. And then you'll notice that we've got this paper on the side. Again, they're saying, Jonathan, there's too much paper. This is where we use the rolled paper technique. You'll see this a lot at the holidays. You'll see this paper rolls. I mean, paper was made in rolls. Paper comes to us in rolls. And so it only makes sense that you want to use a rolled technique. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start on this end, and I'll try to do this backwards so that the camera can see it. We're going to take that and we're going to roll the paper up. We're going to roll it up. And you get a really nice look right there from the rolled paper. It's a nice roll across. The camera can see that. And we're going to go ahead and just affix that. Now this is a good thing to affix with your electric tape. The transparent tape simply won't hold it. And so using the electric tape to hold the roll can be helpful. A lot of times I'll tear off the tape first. And notice we'll re-roll, roll again. I'm gonna roll that up. It's a good thing about this paper, it can be re-rolled. There's some paper that you cannot re-roll. This paper can. And then you can roll that right onto the top. So you can see that roll technique. We're gonna go ahead and roll this side as well. Gonna roll that paper up, and we're gonna use the tape, the electric tape from before. I'm gonna pre-pull a slice. We're gonna roll that again, and then you're just gonna affix it like that. So there you have it. You've got your rolled ends. It's kind of like a candy, one of those candy bonbons, if you think about it. With the rolled, you can really see it from this angle with the ends. Now these are not flyers. When you're using the rolled technique, these are not flyers. These are actually part of the roll itself. You've got the white here, which is perfectly fine, again with the white box, and this one is done. So now we are ready for the final nesting. So we've got our final box here. We're gonna open it up, and we're gonna go ahead and put this right inside. Now, because of the rolled version, I got a larger size box because we want to preserve those rolls. A lot of people love to see them, put them on display. And so we want to be able to preserve that inside of our box. I'm gonna put that in. There we go. Now, we've got the problem. It's rolling around. You can tell even with the rolled ends, there's movement. Now our tissue paper is used to hold things in place, but sometimes when there's this much, you don't want to use tissue paper. And now that's where it's perfectly fine just to use plastic bags. So you can take plastic bags and just stuff those in. Gonna use some more plastic bags and just stuff those in here. And the test is, does it hold? Is it gonna move around? No, it's not moving. All you hear is the flapping of the top. There's no movement. We've secured it fine. And now we're on to our final piece. So finish up here. We are gonna affix this with our black electrical tape. We're gonna use the double strip technique. So we're gonna do it one layer at a time. We'll use the one side, and then we'll use the other side. It's just the glue, not a problem. The Jot glue, again, is what I recommend for a glue stick. Jot, J-O-T. It's a good type of glue. So now we've affixed with both sides. If you can see, there's a little indentation or depression there of the lid. Absolutely not a problem, because once we wrap it, it's gonna be just fine. So what are we gonna use? I think because this is a birthday, it's nice to go with a happy birthday paper. That way the person knows, oh, it is my birthday. This is in fact a birthday gift. And it just affirms them. And so we're gonna go with the affirming happy birthday paper. And again, this is our largest box. Again, we've been using the nested technique. We're gonna put that in the middle. I'm gonna come across the top a bit. And then a lot of people don't do this. I'm using the no-look cut. So the no-look cut is the opposite side. I don't see the lines. All I see is the top part of the paper. Not a lot of people can do this type of a cut. If you want to try it, I recommend getting some cheaper wrapping paper, because you're probably going to screw it up the first 7 or 8 times you try it. And so because I do have experience with this, I'm going to go with a no-look cut, and I'm just going to align it right there and go across with a no-look. clear on through. You can see that we're cutting all the way. And perfect edge, once again, perfect edge for the next person who wants to wrap. That way they're not left with extra pieces that they probably don't know how to manage. You want to be kind to the next person because, let's face it, they probably can't wrap as good as you. So we're going to go ahead and see how this fits. Now, we do have the barcode here that's still exposed. I'll show this to you. Barcode is still exposed. If we were mailing this, we would want to leave the barcode exposed. That can be helpful for the Postal Service. Because we're not mailing this, we're probably going to make another decision. So right now, we're going to go ahead and pop it. We're going to go ahead and pop it. So pop it and pop it on the bottom here. You can pop it from this is a front pop. Gonna go with the front pop. And there we have it. Now, because we do have this strip here that we want to cover up, you can take that off the end. So because we've already folded it, you just start. Here, I'll turn it this way. You just find a place and you just start. People wonder, where's the exact spot? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You just start. And so I'm going to start. And you're doing the double cut because you're cutting two sides of the paper at the same time. So you've got the complex double cut. You're going to find that it creates a long ribbon, a ribbon-like piece of paper. So I'm going to go ahead and use the double cut. Sometimes it works better than others. I'm just going to rip the last piece off there. And that's fine. You've got your ribbon. Some people like to curl the ribbon. This can certainly be done for that. We're gonna apply this up here to the top. So we're gonna go ahead. This now is simple. We'll just fold these in, fold it up, in and up. And for this, it's just so much easier to go with the front pop. There we go. And we did have a little rip. That's fine. That's what the transparent tape is for. Transparent tape covers all rips. We are going to go with the cross tape on this one. We'll go with the cross tape on that. We're going to add another piece to the cross tape. This is the X version of the cross tape. So it's when two cross tapes intersect. You see the intersection point of the cross taping. Perfectly fine. A fine technique. Again, we'll roll that to the other side. Gonna fold it in, fold it down, down and up. This side we use the triangle. It doesn't have to be the same on both sides. If you want to use a triangle fold on one side, a square fold, we learned that in the last video. I would expect you still remember. And again, we're gonna use the front pop, and we've attached it there. Now all we have to do is the barcode. Fortunately, up, came down. The staple wasn't strong enough. That's where you want to go to the electric tape. So we're going to go to the electric tape here. Get a good, that's probably about a 14¼ inch length. Pretty standard length for electric tape, 14¼ So you want to go with the 14¼ and then you'll just bring that right across. And if you want to wrap that a little bit around the ends, you can, just perfectly fine. We're going to bring that, and it stretches, so you can stretch that around. You've got that. This is a flyer. This is a flyer technically. So with the flyers, we do use the glue stick. So we're going to go ahead and put the glue on the paper. We're going to put a little glue on the top. A little glue on the top here. We're going to affix that, and we'll hold that for approximately 8 seconds, and then that will take care of our flyer. Not a problem. All we have left is the ribbon. So because we've doubled the ribbon, we can just measure and see what we like. I'm gonna like it about like that. The great thing about it here is you've got the happy birthday pattern going different directions. So no matter how the person holds the box, oh, happy birthday this way. Oh, wait, I'm holding it this way. It still says happy birthday in a way that they can read and a way that they can understand. With the double ribbon, I do like to use the side pop method. We'll side pop it. There we go. I can tell right now that is going to be a tenuous hold. I'm going to reinforce it with a little bit of the transparent tape. Ooh, that came off. We're going to cross tape that, and we're going to go with one more piece here around the corner. So you can go do a corner tape, just what we've done here. And then because we side popped it here, we're going to side pop it. Now, if you affix it to the electrical tape, that's perfectly fine. It's not a problem. We're going to pop it, side pop it. Side popping didn't work that time. Again, we'll go with our transparent tape. We're going to go ahead and affix that like so. And I'm going to use the elongated method. So that piece was fine. The elongated method is when I want to take a piece and I want to extend it. So I'm going to use the elongated method, and I'm going to extend it where it comes down and goes clear around. It goes clear around. So there we have our finished product. You're going to see we've got the square fold on this side, more of the triangle fold here. You'll notice that we affixed the flyer with the glue, and then we used the side pop methods to help affix the ribbon. It's really interesting. I can barely even find it because it all looks like one piece of paper. But here's the ribbon that we affixed with the side pops, a little help of the transparent tape, and that is how you wrap a nested or a progressed package. I hope you have a wonderful wrapping experience. I'd love to hear your comments, see your videos. If you would take wrapping videos and put them down in the comments, that would be great. Hoping to get an entire channel to be able to help people do a better job wrapping. Until next time, I'm Jonathan. Thank you.